What's up, guys? What's happening? Dude, I was just minding my own business and I scrolled across the 2.5 survival revival update. I hate that they're marketing their mistake as a survival revival. I think it's so cringe, man. I think it's cringe. Yeah, there's no indication on when though, so we'll take a look here. Who asked for third person? Not me. But it's weird because there's several people that are asking for a third person. December 8th, 2025, and this was released literally like 20 minutes ago. I just happened to catch it. The version 2.5 survival revival survival revival experimental update will be out soon. Experimental means that it will not be on console yet. It'll have to go through probably maybe like a week. I've seen as many as 3 weeks for experimental, so console might have to wait as much as 3 weeks, maybe more, maybe less. Hard to tell. It's hard to tell. It depends on how fucked up things are. This feature-rich update focuses on community feedback and the return of some long-awaited features. I'll shut my mouth on that one. The stable update for all platforms will be out before the holidays. The update includes improved water survival with empty jars. Got it, we knew that. Vehicle storage improvements and mods, we've never heard about that. Lore-friendly Rancher Zombie replaces the Plague Spitter, we knew that one. The lore-friendly Chuck Zombie replaces the Frost Claw, we knew that. A brand new smell system, not brand new, with some great surprises. That makes me a little nervous. I honestly don't trust them to do right by us. Distant storm rendering, updated biome hazards, storms, temperature, and protective clothing. Thank the fucking Lord, man. Thank God. When implementing biome progression, they wanted to make sure that the new systems didn't fuck up the old systems. And I'm kind of like, you're not in early access anymore, guys. Like, you can't just be willy-nilly anymore. And that's what the fun pimps do, man. They're just willy-nilly about shit. The new Apiary station to produce honey. Knowing the fun pimps, they're probably going to increase the rate of infection to 100% on hit to balance out the honey. New honey inspired recipes. Cool. I like that. Any new recipes are good. Third person camera support. Who gives a fuck? If you give a fuck about third person, tell me in the comments why. Because, I mean, I get it a little bit because of the microtransactions, as Robert says, but come on, dude. Nobody gives a shit about third person in 7 Days to Die, man. The game's 12 years old and you haven't had third person. I mean, you kind of have, but you have to have the developer console on. Turret ammo improvements. I'm going to assume that means that you can start putting the high-powered ammo and the AP ammo in your turret ammo, which is cool. Quest improvements. Now, they talked about doing the new quest, the exploding building quest. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Words like improvements and the fun pimps, they don't go together. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. 2.5 and 3.0 is probably the most important updates that the fun pimps are ever going to have. I mean, before they step away in 4.0, end of the road, you know, once the story is done, like this is going to be feature complete. I don't know. Speculation. It's all speculation. A new character window rendering. Oh, wow. Look at that. A new Trader Jed model. Wow. New free cosmetic skins. Okay, now that's better. That's a little better. TTS is not disabled. You have to do exclamation point TTS. Maybe you fucked it up. Or maybe you don't have permission. Maybe I revoked permission from you for talking so much shit. According to this, be careful. Yeah, be careful. Just make sure you're not crafting anything when you move into the new update.
Petra NPC says, I hope they fix Yen's flat, but...
Yeah, Jen does have a flat ass, man. Really. So let's talk about the jars. We know this is a topic of great interest to the community, and we have taken extra care to listen to and read hundreds of posts and polls. What stood out the most is that people liked the old empty jar system for the immersive feeling of rummaging through loot to find an empty jar. That is not correct, actually. Locating a water source, filling the jar, and boiling it. The last three, yes. This one, finding jars in loot? No. This became This became a dumb thing that I would grab everything as a loot goblin and I would end up throwing jars away left and right. They complained about fucking jars, right? They complained about jars being too easy. And if it was too easy, then why would I find 9 fucking jars in one loot container? And then I'd be walking around with 9 drinks of water, essentially, if I had the helmet mod, the water purifier. With that in mind, we combined the best of the old and new systems and made it balanced. Here's how it works. In the early game, you scavenge for jars and fill them with murky water from natural lakes, rivers, and ditches, or from other man-made bodies of water. Murky water is boiled for use as normal. Toilets, sinks, and other water fixtures are dried up. That's fair. Early to mid-game, you could choose to craft dew collectors or continue to use the jars that you find. Fair enough. Okay. To balance gameplay, jars are one-time use, so you eat the glass every time still. They are not refunded, period. They're not craftable. You can only find them in loot. And the dew collector now unlocks at level 16 and is now crafted on the workbench. Well, I think before, all you had to do is read 1 or 2 forge books, and now you unlock at workstation crafting 16. Okay. Vehicle storage improvements and mods. Each vehicle by default will now support 1 additional storage column for more storage slots. Bicycle, 1 more extra storage slot. Okay. Mini bike is 3, motorcycle 4, gyrocopter 5, 4x4 9. We're adding vehicle storage mods that will increase any vehicle storage capacity by 1 row, which will increase a vehicle storage capacity by 10 slots. Each vehicle can hold up to 2 vehicle mods for a total increased storage of 20 storage slots. When you install a vehicle storage mod, you will see your vehicle visibly change, which is cool. That's a good change. Similar to like the cooking pot and the grill, which is cool. The new Rancher Zombie. The new 2.0 Plague Splitter model has been replaced with the Rancher, who looks more grounded to the Navezgane, Arizona desert game lore. The Rancher still has the swarm spitting attack. Yeah, but is there bees? Yes, there are still bees. The new Chuck zombie. Obviously, they're calling him Chuck because he chucks rocks at you. Chuck still has the boulder throwing attack. He replaces the frost claw. I don't need to read this verbatim. Smell system. This is what I'm curious about. We've added...
Apiary82 says, things we didn't want 1A, 1B.
There's what y'all said.
Release the dogs that when they bark, they shoot bees at you.
Fuck you, dude. Get out of here with that. Nobody wants that. Having 5 or more raw meat in your inventory will create a smell. There is a 10-second grace period before that smell begins to smell. Before the smell begins to smell, giving the player an opportunity to store or package the raw meat. Raw meat smells have a distance in meters they travel, which will be displayed on a left HUD buff pop out with a nose icon on it. We've seen that already. The distance number on the buff HUD will grow over time until it reaches a maximum distance. The more raw meat you're carrying, the longer the smell distance, the further the smell distance. Once the smell has reached its maximum distance, it will linger in the air for a short time period, represented by a slowly decreasing HUD number until the smell dissipates and the number decreases at a faster rate. There are several ways you can prevent raw meat from smelling, including packaging the raw meat in bundles of 5 using paper and fiber plants. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Storing the raw meat in a vehicle or storage container. Got it. So you can put it in your vehicle or just make a storage container and drop it down right there. Consuming food now causes smell, so you need to be careful when and what you eat. Many consumables now have a smell distance stat. That's weird, but whatever. Consuming multiple items in a row will cause a combined smell distance, okay? I don't know. The flatulence the player makes from dysentery will cause a smell. So are we going to eat do we have audibles? Do we have sound effects for that? Smells combined have a maximum cumulative distance of 100 meters. Smells do not travel as far when indoors or sheltered and are reduced to 20% of their full distance and will dynamically shrink or grow when you go inside or outside. Your current smell can be cleared by submerging yourself in water. When smells reach zombies, they will randomly detect the smell, move in that direction, and at the desired smell run speed setting in the game options under smell mode, which, oh my god, okay, let me start over. Let me read that one again. That's kind of ridiculous. When smells reach zombies, they will randomly detect the smell, move in that direction, and at the desired smell run speed setting in the game options under smell mode, which defaults to run. Animal carcasses can now be smelled from further away, so you may have to defend the carcasses from more zombies. I don't mind that at all. There's a new game option, AI smell mode, which can be set to off, walk, jog, run, sprint, and nightmare, but defaults to run. That's the best part about the whole thing right there. So like if I kill a rabbit and a zombie knows about it and I have my hunting set to nightmare, then I mean you can base an entire playthrough off just that one setting, which is dope as fuck. If dead smells attract zombies, why don't they attack each other? Ooh, that's a good question. One more time for the people in the back. If dead smells attract zombies, then why don't they attack each other? My suspension of disbelief is really being stretched. Yeah, zombies smell. Yeah, zombies would have a smell too. I mean, if you're trying to poke holes into FunPim's logic, that's a good way to do it. Distant storm rendering. A new system has been added that will render storm clouds in neighboring biomes. This early warning indicator will help players prepare before they enter the area. Each biome has its own unique VFX particle system. That's cool. In the current game, if there's a storm in the snow, it's worldwide. There's a storm in every single biome. Yeah, it's not isolated to one biome, it's worldwide. Oh, they're bringing back mechanics that they got rid of and calling it a new feature again? Yeah. By no means is it new, but it is improved. Biome hazards, storms, temperature, and protective clothing. I'm curious about this protective clothing. The biome hazards, storms, temperature, and protective clothing now all act independently, creating a more dynamic and unpredictable struggle against the elements. Here are the changes and additions. The biome hazards and progression have been reworked with new belt messages, icons, and descriptions to reflect the more immersive face covering gear and the protective provide against airborne hazards, including smoke, ash, sand, dust, brutal cold air, and toxic fallout for each of the respective biomes. Storms have been reworked to allow a longer grace period based on clothing worn. Without clothing, the player gets 30 seconds to leave the biome or take shelter. Also, they've reduced it from 2 minutes to 30 seconds. Gathering and wearing the protective clothing increases the player's time to leave the biome or find shelter. Taking shelter starts a recovery timer that ramps up at 3 times the rate of the grace timer. Okay. Reworked the storm buff icons to clearly show a difference between biome themes. Okay. Zombies become aggressive and will be more active during storms. Zombies have a higher chance of dropping loot during storms. Thanks. Jeez, thanks. We went from 10 item slots down to 4 item slots for like clothing and armor. And then they started selling DLCs. And I'm like, wait a minute, 10 is way more than 4. And now we're back up to 8. But 4 of those are PPE and are not aesthetic in any way, shape, or form. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Added back a more intuitive implementation of the older temperature system. Time of day, shelter, shade, weather conditions, wetness, and other factors play a role in the player's core temperature. Holding a torch, standing by a campfire, or consuming items will boost the player's cold resistance. Gathering and wearing the protective clothing, described below, increases the player's hot and cold resistance, which absorbs the various conditions to offset the player's core temperature. Hot debuffs have 2 levels of severity, hot and sweltering, cold and freezing. So it's not different than it was before. So far I don't see where it's improved. Hot, increased water consumption to recover stamina by 300%. All movement types reduced by 10%. So it's basically like it was in Alpha 16. Sweltering, increased water consumption to recover stamina by 600%, and all movement types reduced by 20%. So same thing, increased food consumption by 100% for cold, increased food consumption to recover stamina by 30%, all movement types reduced by 10%, and freezing is food consumption 200% and stamina recovery 60% and movement was reduced by 20%. So basically they're taking what Alpha 16 had and bringing it back. The chat says that it's it's lower than what it was in Alpha 16. I didn't find it very hard to mitigate in Alpha 16. I just wasn't expecting it the first time I ran into it. Right, it was heat stroke and hypothermia in 16, but I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't just call it that. You know, actually in Alpha 16 I think they had hot, sweltering, and heat stroke. I think there should be a third level. I think there should be hypothermia and heat stroke added to this. It is correct. That's what I thought. Wow, dude, they're bringing clothing back. There are 4 clothing installation item groups that can be found and worn to increase the player's hot and cold resistance and protection time against storms, including socks, dope, cap liners, got it, long underwear, and glove liners. Okay, I'm here for it. Personally, I like the older variation better. You know, where you t-shirt and jeans, etc., 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 and then you would wear armor over the top of that. But I mean, this makes sense. They want those micro transactions. This is going to make it to where you can mitigate that stuff with clothing, but it doesn't change the way the player looks. The clothing installation comes in 3 tiers: tattered, patchwork, and thermal core. All right. Wearing all 4 of the highest tiered installation clothing items provides the longest protection time against storms and best hot and cold resistance against extreme temperatures. Clothing has quality, but no degradation, so you can keep looting to get better gear. We've added 3 levels of progressive armor installation mods as well to augment your hot and cold resistance even further. New Apiary workstation. We have added the Apiary. Got it. Apiary workstation crafting is unlocked at tier 3 workstations and crafting level 30. Once unlocked, the player can craft the Apiary workstation recipe by gathering the following ingredients. 5 beeswax from harvesting tree stumps are found in loot drops, or from the rancher zombie, formerly known as the plague splitter. 100 wood, 50 nails, 10 forged iron, and 8 duct tape. Oh, that's pricey. Yeah, that's totally a Darkness Falls ripoff. Once the player crafts the Apiary workstation, it needs to be fueled by 10 chrysanthemum, 10 goldenrod, or 10 cotton. I mean, honestly, I think it'd be better if they had you plant chrysanthemums or goldenrod or cotton nearby. But yeah, at least it does give it a use. The Apiary workstation will output 1 honey every 2 game days. You know what people are going to do? They're going to make 100 apiaries. Opening the apiary has a small chance of spawning an angry bee swarm. I personally really like that, and I can't wait to see what the modders do with that, because that code right there is very useful. The Apiary workstation can be upgraded with 3 tool slot mods upgrades, including the smoker, which removes the chance to spawn angry bee swarm. Fair. Apiary brood box doubles how much honey that can be stored, and the extractor doubles how fast honey can be produced. So if it's every 2 days, then you would get 1 honey every 1 day per apiary. Got it. New recipes. Along with the Apiary workstation that produces honey, we have added some new honey-centric recipes to the game that offer some honey healing benefits, including honey tea. Not only does it hydrate, it cures infection. Okay. Honey glazed sham, your new favorite substitute, just got better. Honey brisket, the ultimate survivor food, offers a whopping 150 food points and heals your infections. If it's made with honey, it should cure your infection, I think. Yay, third-person camera. Full third-person camera support has been added to the game. You can now seamlessly toggle between first-person and third-person views during gameplay using a quick toggle keybind. This highly requested feature, not very highly, I mean, most people don't give a shit, provides a new perspective on your character and surroundings, especially useful for appreciating your gear customization, navigating complex terrain, and experiencing combat from a different viewpoint. Also for cheating the fuck out of PvP. But if everybody can do it, then it's probably okay. It's going to change PvP for big time. A number of settings have been added to customize the third-person camera. These can be found in video display. The settings are default camera mode. Choose if you prefer to start games in first or third person. You can also toggle this in game at any time, unless the server you're playing is restricted to a specific camera mode. Everything I just said about about PvP might have been just eliminated right here. Third person field of view separated from the first person FOV slider. Fair. Third person camera distance can be adjusted here, or it can be adjusted in game by holding the camera change or quick action menu buttons and using the mouse wheel or controller triggers. Got it. So that means that if third person is like the P button, for instance, I would hold down P and then scroll out or scroll in. 98% of 7 Days to Die players don't play PvP, true. 96.7% of players don't give a fuck about third person. I am in the 96.7 percentile. Third person camera mode. Choose whether you want a freely opening camera or one that's locked behind the character. A third option will only lock the camera when holding a ranged weapon. A game setting and server config has been added, allowing hosts to restrict the camera mode for all players in the game. This can be found in the advanced tab of the game setting. By default, all players are allowed to change their camera mode freely, but this setting can be used to force all players to use either first or third person camera modes. Didn't we already have third person before they locked it to first person? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. So you're saying that they had that already, but it predated Alpha 16? Key binding changes and improvements. Quick actions menu. Hold this button to bring up a radial menu of various actions, including changing the camera perspective, dropping your weapon, as well as a place to access all of your toggleable items and equipment attachments. I actually like this a lot. You can also choose the default behavior of tapping this button, changing camera mode, or toggling your first attachment. Additionally, holding this button allows you to adjust third-person camera distance or zoom it right in to switch back to first person. Swap camera side or scope zoom level. Use this button in third person to swap which side of your character the camera is positioned over. I wonder what button that's going to be. I bet you it's going to be like Q. Yeah, it's going to be Q, I think. I think middle mouse. God, I would hate that. I hope it's not middle mouse. Yeah, I hope it's not middle mouse. The scope zoom in and zoom out bindings have been removed in favor of the swap camera side scope zoom level action. This cuts down on the number of inputs scope zooming takes up on a controller. Zoom in, zoom out bindings have been removed, so you can't use a variable scope in 7 Days to Die anymore. Got it. Please note that we have adjusted the default controller layout to accommodate these new reworked inputs. The first time starting the game after updating, all input bindings will be reset to their new defaults. You know what's funny? That happens to me anyway. Zombie Derper on Kick says that the scope zoom in, zoom out that was removed is going to be added in as a DLC later. Turret ammo improvements. Universal ammo compatibility. Turrets now accept all ammunition tiers, giving you more flexibility in managing your defensive resources. Use standard ammo for regular threats and save premium ammunition for Horde Knights. Entity piercing. Advanced entity piercing mechanics for high-tier ammunition are currently a work in progress and will be refined in upcoming updates. Ammo type benefits. Different ammunition types now provide distinct advantages. Armor piercing rounds for tough enemies, hollow points for standard zombies, and more. We have updated the quest system, improving which traders are selected in the world and the criteria for how their quest lists are selected. The starter quest and the opening trader routes quest will only direct players to traders that have the highest number of nearby quest locations by them or near cities. The traders will now show up to 7 quests. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that one. The traders will now show up to 7 quests in each tier list and will offer them in a new algorithm that picks 3 near distance, 3 medium, and 1 far distance, giving more variety to the quest offering and improving the odds for higher tier quest offerings. Dude, that's a good name. That's a good feature.
Petra NPC says, so no bandits still? You should be able to select upwards of 3 or so quests at one time.
I like that. I would like that. I think that would be fair. That way you could plan an excursion, man, like a weekend excursion, you know, like an overnight trip. And maybe you know the desert is in the south, and you need to jet down to the desert to get some oil shale. Just say it's 2 kilometers to the south. Well, let's say you've got three quests that are kind of in the south. You can literally plan an entire like 2 or 3 day excursion off of something like that. Anyway, new free cosmetic skins, free original survivors pack. A free cosmetic content pack featuring the original male and female 7 days survivors. Note, you will be able to browse the in-game DLC menu to redeem it once 2.5 is stable. Okay, free holiday Santa hat. Oh boy, yay. A free cosmetic Santa hat that you will find in loot during the holidays. Cool. New Trader Gen model. We added a brand new Trader Gen model coming to your apocalypse. Note, this may come in a bug fix patch after 2.5 stable. Okay, that's it, guys. Where we at? How we feeling? Talk to me, tell me.
Zombie_derper says, that's also just a worse version of Woat.
Woat? Where are the walkers? Where are the walkers?
Nobody wants a fucking third-person camera.
Couldn't have better said it better myself. Thanks, AI. I would never have played. I would have not played this game if it was third person.
Robier82 says an F would be too high. He'll have a new comment when it isn't a downgraded version of features we've had in mods for years.
Yep.
Being back throwable spears.
Oh, dude, bring back those throwable spears are dope, man. But I mean, yeah, like if they're gonna rip off the modders, they should probably give credit. Well, no, not probably. They should give credit. But if they don't, maybe it was their idea. Yeah, you know what? Though that's not fair because they've never given credit to any modders that I know of. That's the whole. It's actually pretty big. I knew it was going to be big. Dayhawk, how's this going to fuck your mod up? A few weeks to resolve these changes. That's not so bad though. I mean, a little bit at a time, guys. 2.5. Is it a W? I don't know. The verdict is still out. Is it worth a playthrough? I don't know. Maybe it is. It's close. It's worth it to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and kind of figure out what's what. I don't think that the fun pimps are good at making games. I think they're good at marketing. Dude, them releasing their patch notes like this is gonna make people make videos on their upcoming update, which is gonna create a hype and create a conversation, and now people are curious. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna go play some Battlefield.